guys, it's Lindsay. Welcome back to The Wandering Reader. Today I'm going to be doing my July TBR and I'm going to be switching up just slightly how I do my TBRs. So I'm going to be picking my BookTuber recommends and my theme of the month first and kind of setting those out, and then I'm going to talk to you about other books that I'm going to be reading during the month. So I've not been that good at reading the BookTuber recommends books so far. I think I've read, I want to say 3 out of the 6 that I've picked out, so not going well with that, but I'm not going to worry about it too much. So I've got my cup here. I switched it, so I switched it for the Taurus mug that I got for my birthday because, if you can see, yeah, I bought, my husband bought me some bookmarks back from when he went to Shakespeare's Globe in London with some of his students, and he bought me some bookmarks with different Shakespearean quotes on them, and they're a bit thicker, so I decided to switch out the mug and put them in there instead. So I've got them in here after that big ramble, like you needed to know that, but anyway, so let's just have a little scrunch up, and we'll go with this one. Okay, so I picked out, oh, I don't know whether you can see that, whether that's going to be too bright, but anyway, picked out These Violent Delights, and this is by Victoria Namkung, and Amanda from Cook Read Create recommended this one to me. So I haven't got a copy of this here, and I'm pretty sure I can't get it from my library. I will search again, but I'm pretty sure I can't, so I think I'm going to have to order a copy of that. Forgotten off the top of my head what it's about entirely, so but I know it's a very recent release, so yeah, hopefully I get around to that one. And then I have here my theme of the month picks, so we'll give this a little shake, take the lid off, and then we'll give it a little crunch and go for this one. Oh my god. Okay, so this is Reading the Rainbow. Okay, so does this mean I have to read 7 books? Maybe I won't, I don't know. Let me have a look at some of the spines on my shelves and I'll come back and I'll tell you what I've picked out. Okay, so I picked out my rainbow, there you go. So I'm going to go through everyone. I'm not going to be reading every single one of these, let's be real, but I've got a choice. So for red, I picked Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close by Jonathan Safran Foer. I just basically picked them from the spine and not from the cover. And this is the book that the film is based on, and I believe it's about a boy whose dad died, I think, in 9/11 in some sort of way, and he leaves him behind this clue, and that's kind of all I know. I've heard the book and the film are very, very good, so there's that one. Then for yellow, I picked out The Silk Weaver by Liz Trunell. This is the book that she published last year, and it's set, I think, in the 18th century. Does it say that on the back? I think it's set in the 18th century, and it's about the silk weaving industry and about 2 people and the relationship forms between them or something like that. So yeah, I've been really wanting to read more of Liz Trunell's work. Pink, How Could I Not? Crazy Rich Asians by Kevin Kwan. I absolutely love this cover, and yeah, I've been really excited to read this since everybody's been raving about the trailer dropping, and yeah, I've heard really good things about it. I think this is basically about this girl called Rachel who agrees to spend the summer with her boyfriend in Singapore with his family, and when she gets there she realises that he comes from one of the richest families in Singapore, and all of these girls are after him, and yeah, it's about his family and stuff like that. So I've heard it's very, very funny, and yeah, it's just a good read. Green, I picked out Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell. This is the recent Rainbow Rowell that I bought when I was in Oxford, and this is one of her YA titles. I believe it's about 2 sisters who go off to college and one of them writes fan fiction or something like that. So yeah, we'll see what one of her YA titles is like, because I really, really loved Eleanor and Park. Purple, I picked out The Miseducation of Cameron Post, and this is by Emily M. Danforth. And Lauren from Lauren in the Books recently read this in June, I think, because June was Pride Month, and she was sent it by, I think it's by Penguin, yeah, as like a Pride Month pick. And I believe this is about a girl who goes to live with her grandparents, I think, or some sort of other family relatives, and they find out that she's gay and then they try to send her to a camp which will make her not gay, like, if that makes any sort of sense. I think it's set in the 70s or something like that. So yeah, a really interesting premise, and this cover is really, really gorgeous. For orange, I picked out Everything I Never Told You by Celeste Ng. So this has got the orange spine. This is Celeste Ng's debut novel, and I believe it centres around a family whose the eldest daughter in the family dies in some sort of way, and it's about how each of the family members copes with that death. So you've got the mum and the dad, and then the younger sister, I believe. I've heard nothing but great things about Celeste Ng's writing, so I've got both of her books now, so this is like a perfect opportunity to pick up this one. And then finally for blue, another book that I bought recently was The Upside of Unrequited by Becky Albertalli. This is her second book, and I think it's set in the same universe as Simon but following different characters. So I think this is a companion novel, whereas Leah on the Offbeat, which is her most recent one, is a direct sequel to Simon. And I think this is about a character who has had lots of crushes but has never actually had a boyfriend. Yeah, I've heard really, really good things about this as well. I'm going to be doing a couple of buddy reads in July. The first of those is I'm going to be reading Shelter by Sarah Franklin with Simon from Savage Reads. He recently hauled, I think, the finished paperback copy of this, and we had a chat about buddy reading it. I've got a proof edition of it. I think the premise sounds really good. I think it's set, I think, during World War I or World War II, I can't remember off the top of my head. I can't remember which one. I think it might be World War II. And then it's about a prisoner of war meeting this woman working on an estate. That's like a really terrible description of the book, but yeah, the proof cover is absolutely beautiful, and I'm looking forward to getting to know Simon a little bit better when we do the buddy read. So yeah, there's that one. Another buddy read I'm doing this month is with Harriet over at Harriet Rosie, and we're going to be reading Half of the Yellow Sun, and this is by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie, and this is the last book on my 5-star prediction TBR that I did ages ago at some point last year, and I've been meaning to get around to reading this because it's been so long since I put that video out that I really want to do like a wrap up of that video basically, and then perhaps do another TBR. But this is the only novel of hers that I haven't read, and I believe it's her second novel. I don't really know what this is about. So it says it's set in 1960s Nigeria, and then it's got various characters on the back and stuff. So I'm going to go into this a little bit blind and see. I know that Harriet is going to be listening to this on audio, so maybe we'll do like a couple of chapters of it a day, and we're going to be starting this today, so it's July the 1st today. I'm filming this on Sunday. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to reading the last of her novels and seeing what I think of it. And then lastly, with Emma from Emma's Bookish Lifestyle, we didn't get around to reading The Essex Serpent by Sarah Perry in June, so we're going to be reading it in July. So again, putting it on the TBR. Yeah, everyone's got really, really good things to say about this book, so yeah, I must get around to reading it. And they are, I think, all of the books that I'm going to be reading in July. I've got a couple of ones that I'm currently reading left over from June. So for example, I'm reading Cress by Marissa Meyer, which I'm kind of counting as my Tome Topper book. In the past I've put up TBRs for Tome Topper, but I didn't do TBRs monthly before. So yeah, Cress was one of the series books that I put on my TBR for June. I only picked up right at the end of June, so I'm going to use it as my Tome Topper book. And then I'm reading a library book as well, which is called Shiny Broken Pieces, which is the second book in the, I can't remember the first bit, but it's like a ballet duology with Donielle Clayton and Sonia Charapotra. So I'm just reading the second book of that. Plus I'm in the middle of a few audiobooks and things, so yeah, I'll kind of leave it at that. Like I said, I'm not going to be reading all of the Rainbow books because I think that's a little bit too much, and I'm just kind of trying to take the pressure off at the moment, but we'll see what I get around to. So I'd love to have a chat with you in the comments below. Have you read any of these? What did you think of them? And what are you planning on picking up in July? Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.